The number one thing that people ask me is,
where do you want to go to college?
what do you want to do?
Where do you want to go?
I don't really know what I want to do.
I have no idea.
Hands down, especially in this part of the world, in Silicon Valley, you have a lot of concrete thinkers. You have a lot of people who have gone to engineering school, or they're venture capitalists, or whatever they've done, and the idea that their child might want to study painting in college is kind of horrifying.
They've always been kind of pushing, the engineering, the science, all that stuff, but it's like, I'm really not, it's not my strong suit, and I want to be involved with that, but it's not my strong suit, so I kind of want to have something else that makes me more, I guess, marketable.
Whether or not you want to continue to study the arts, what you have learned in freestyle or programs like that is that it's important to be able to communicate. Communicating visually is a very strong skill, being able to write well. These are all ways that you're going to have impact no matter what you decide to do.
I want to do film or TV. Whereas my mom and dad, they're saying go with the more broad communications major.
A lot of the parents were coming to me because they knew this was my background and saying, oh my God, my son or daughter's life is over, they want to study art in college. And I'm like, no, really, it's okay.
I'd say just because my mom kind of makes a big deal out of small things.
I think it's stressful for them because they can't really control what you're doing, and so they want to help you.
They want me to go there, but they also think it's very expensive and they'd rather me go to a UC or stay in state at least.
They're always telling me, like, when are you going to get your essays done? When are you going to get your applications done?
Like, I need to start working on my college essays and stuff.
My first one's due tomorrow, actually.
It's just crazy. I mean, I have 15 days to submit my application for early decision, and I have no idea what I'm going to do. I haven't started my college apps. I haven't done anything, really.
Everyone is going crazy because you think, oh, I'm doing everything I can, I'm fine, and then you talk to someone else, they're like, oh, well, I've done this, this, and this, and you're like, oh my God, like, I'm behind.
Don't compare yourself to your friends, like, where are they compared to me?
I think most of the stress is coming from my peers.
I find other people a lot more stressed than I am, which makes me stressed though, because I feel like I should be more stressed.
I think there are people that are more on top of it and more. I think one reaction that I see a lot from kids is just kind of ignoring it, or not really ignoring it, but not talking about it with your friends, like just kind of put it off.
This is college and it defines you for the rest of your life, but that's not true, but you say that to yourself.
Ava here, she's gonna be the scientist because she's the third child. She gets no decision. My dad wants a child who will become either an engineer, doctor, something sciencey.
I think that, kids really need to look at where people are working and what kind of jobs they are. I mean, I never leave a movie without looking at each and every person.
Following Harriet's advice, I decided to find out what really goes on behind the scenes with photography, one of the most well-known art-oriented careers. I met Dan Clark when he was guest teaching at Freestyle, so I shot him an email and set up a time to meet with him at his studio.
Hi, my name's Dan Clark. I have a photography studio in Mountain View, California called Weinberg Clark Photography. The Weinberg is my wife. She and I work together. We do mostly commercial photography for local high-tech and medical high-tech companies. And so when it came to time to go to college, I thought, well, I'm going to try photography first. If that doesn't work out, I'll go do something in sciences. And photography worked out. I mean, it was close to a flip of a coin, basically. Yeah. You have to wear a lot of hats. So when you're an employee, you don't have to worry about setting up a workers' comp account or withholding, some of your income to pay to the government or Social Security, or finding what alarm system is best for your business, or ordering phone service, or all that other stuff. When you're younger, you can have a lot of knowledge about things that you've learned, but you don't have a lot of wisdom because you haven't had the chance to experience a lot of things. The idea of being 18 and knowing what you want to do for a career for the rest of your life seems like, there's a tiny, tiny fraction of people who they're so focused already and there's something they're completely into, and you think, well, that's what they're going to do. But most people are not in that position.
Yeah, anyone who's figured that out for certain, I don't know how you would do that. I can't even imagine knowing, finalizing that decision this early on.
There are so many things you haven't been exposed to yet, and because it's just not possible. It's better just to look at things with an open mind and just, you don't know where things will lead.
I like it when kids say, I'm going to go to college and I might be undecided. Because to me, if they're at the right school with the right kind of teachers, they're going to be inspired. The most talented people are the ones who don't limit themselves to, just one path of study. I always ask kids, what do you want to get out of an undergraduate degree? You think you're going to get a job? You think you're going to get a career? You think you're going to get your life defined? Because I think those are all sort of bad goals. I think the goal coming out of an undergraduate is to be as open as possible to continue learning how to learn.
Hi, my name is Richard Krause. I'm a director and a designer here at Picture Lab in Mountain View. Every morning I wake up and I just think what can I do today to get to the next level? What can I do? You have to be very self-motivated. It's not like a normal job where you have I guess you just work your way up. It's more of what are you going to learn on your own? What are you going to do to make yourself better? Everything you do is just for a resume, for a portfolio. And that's a big difference between an artist and normal people, is because they can work on a project every day, and at the end of the day, it's not hey, this is the project I worked on. It's oh, I am this title, and I worked here for 3 years, where it's an artist, it's my resume is updated every time I finish a project. I'm only as good as my last project. When I'm on set doing things, I'm happy. It's fun. I like developing projects. I like working on projects. That's the most excitement I can ever get. At the same time, you have no personal life, probably not getting paid that much, and even if you are getting paid well, you're not able to spend the money because you're working 80 hours a week. So it's not like any normal job. Even if I leave here at 6 o'clock like other people, I'm still going home and thinking about a shoot that's a couple days away. I'm still thinking about this design I had to come up with for this storyboard, and you're just constantly thinking about things. Your mind never shuts off, and if it does shut off, then you're not very good at what you do. If you want a traditional lifestyle where you go to work from 9 to 5, and you have the weekend off, and you want to go take your girlfriend on a date or go to the lake, it's probably not the best lifestyle.
That was awesome. Getting to see what they actually do in a studio like that is so inspiring and interesting. He had a lot. He was very well spoken and knew what he was talking about. And I could definitely see myself doing something like that. I also thought it was interesting how he said to kind of put it, unless you're thinking about it every single day, and that's all you can do, keep it as kind of a hobby or a minor. And that's what I've gotten from it too. I don't want to go to a pure film school because I have other interests, and also I don't want to put all my eggs in the same basket. If film doesn't work out, if there's not an industry for that, if there aren't any jobs, something like that, I'm not screwed. So I can do other things.
So to me, mostly what you're trying to figure out is, what do I want to try next? And does it pan out or not?
What I say to the students is, tell people to quit asking you, what is my future? Where am I going to go? What do I think I'm going to do with this? Talk about who you are, because that's really important. It's really important for you to figure out how to say, this matters to me, this is what I'm passionate about, this is how I see this, and this can be a book, a painting, a movie, a piece of music. You have a voice, you have a point of view, and that's what I think is most important in figuring out what's your next step, where to go next.
It's my decision.